92. North Oahu Boulevard for your suspicious vehicle sitting in the parking lot near the pavilion. No one around the vehicle. It's going to be a white SUV unknown license plate.
Alright, we're live on the air, so don't swear.
No one around the vehicle. It's going to be a white SUV.
Alright, backseaters, we're going to give it a few minutes so people can join in. I just called the smartest man in the sheriff's department. That would be Undersheriff Kyle Mestad. And I told him it's your favorite Undersheriff. And then he started listing off other people. And I didn't think that was very nice of him.
8296.
So, you are with Undersheriff Mike Martin in the unmarked black Chevy Tahoe. And I have my special partner. I don't know, is that sounds kind of funny. Steve Leiden with me. Director Steve Leiden. Oh, Steve, you're breaking the law already. And I'm not sure how to even write that ticket.
I got it.
Okay. We were sitting for so long that he didn't put his seatbelt on when he just pulled out of the garage, so looks like they opened this intersection up again here. Maybe not.
This one that's all covered up and dug a hole in?
Well, haven't you ever seen the Dukes of Hazzard?
You got a good point.
All I got to do is find a good ramp.
Daisy Duke would get frostbite.
Welcome back, backseaters. We are in the city of St. Paul. You were with the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office, and we were actually live patrolling here. It's, hold on, 28 degrees. I don't know, I don't think it's 28. I think it's lower than that, but we just pulled out of the garage, so we'll see if it drops. But it's chilly out, and but that hasn't slowed things down lately.
No, the key for me is the wind. 28 is beautiful if it's not windy, but you add that wind chill to it, and 28 feels like about 10.
Exactly. Well, now it's 27. It's falling.
That's because yeah.
Yeah, when we pull out of the underground garage, it's heated, so it could be deceptive. We got to wait for it to stabilize here. And, but yeah, it's the wind that gets you. The temperature, even when it's like below zero, it can be okay, but the temperature, when the wind chill hits you, is unbelievable.
We just passed Regents Hospital that was originally called Anchor back in the 60s.
It was Anchor Hospital?
Yep. And then it became Ramsey County Hospital. And then Regents bought it. And they run it with a contract with the county. But right next to it, and a lot of people don't know this, is Gillette Children's Hospital.
Yes.
It's on the same block. And the work they do is absolutely incredible.
It's unbelievable. I went there, we went there like 2 years ago to hand out stuffed animals to the kids on Easter. And we had the Easter Bunny with us, the real Easter Bunny. Came, and it was a lot of fun, but can't say enough for the women and men that work there and take care of those kids that are suffering, you know.
In 1979, I was a security guard at Gillette Hospital.
Oh.
And this dad came out, and he was just broken up. just uncontrollable. So got him a cup of coffee, help calm him down. He's got a 6-year-old boy that's having surgery on his leg and his foot that need correction. And it's Christmas time, and he told me, he goes in the boys' room, and he says, I'm so sorry you're in pain. I wish I could take the pain away from you, and you wouldn't have to suffer. And he said, Dad, I would never wish this horrible pain on anyone else. Oh my God.
That's heart-wrenching.
Yeah. And for those doctors and nurses to be able to work with these kids every day, day in, day out, and keep a positive attitude, and it's they're remarkable people.
Yeah, it's amazing the work they do there, and just bringing a little bit of hope and pleasure to what's very tragic circumstances.
When I graduated from high school, I wanted to be a doctor. And neighbor was the head of training at St. John's Hospital, which was a training hospital at the time. So I thought, well, what a great place for me to get a job when I graduate from high school for the summer before I go to college. And I quickly realized, A, I don't like being by sick people. B, a lot of things doctors do I thought were gross. And so I decided, no, I'm not going to be a doctor. I'll find a different.
Presidents of White Bear.
So thank God there are doctors out there that do great work.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, we see, horrible things and whatever, but, a lot of times, what we see, they load them up in an ambulance and bring him to the hospital, and we don't have to deal with the long-term, taking care of people and their pain and the loved ones and whatever. I mean, we do, but it's different. So they're special kind of people.
Yeah. Yeah, they really are.
We're north on Rice Street. We are just passing Sycamore. I always want to say Sycamore instead of Sycamore.
Because you're from California.
Oh, that's... I don't think we had sycamores there, but maybe it just... It was one of the first streets I learned when I came here, because obviously the main, like Rice Street and Payne and Arcade and whatever, University, but I went to a bad accident on the corner there, so I got to know that one. That was where I called out as Portable 2007.
Yeah.
Which apparently on this side of the river,
we don't.
You never say you're on your portable radio. That's from the other side, from my prior career at Minneapolis.
Do they still do that?
Yep.
Okay.
So that that they're out of their car, that they're on their portable, as opposed to being on their car radio. So
I kind of like it.
It's not bad. I did it one more time.
Were they
here
confused?
Only. I don't know if she was confused, but I didn't get as much crap the second time as I did the first time. But I wanted them to know I was out because my car was about 2 blocks from where I was.
Yeah.
And I just wanted them to know where I was. So
I ascertain people are out of the car when I can hear them running and the wind blowing by their mic as they're trying to, out of breath, give the location and the directions. Or when you hear the guy get on the radio and say, "Can somebody secure my squad?"
Yeah.
It's back about 4 blocks.
It's about 4 blocks back. Yeah.
So this place, Remington Auto, was created by Jack Remington, who was my next door neighbor. When I was growing up, I babysat for his kids. And Jack and Elaine Remington, really nice people from North St. Paul. Jack was from up in the Iron Range. This guy had magic hands when it came to fixing cars. Very gifted. Could analyze, ascertain, fix them up. sadly taken away way too early in life with cancer. But John, who's his son, took over the business, and Elaine, his wife, and Jamie, his son, 2 twin daughters, and great family. So I guess, do you remember when we were driving here this summer?
Yeah, Minnesota, Robert, Frank, John,
And the snake.
Yes.
I knew you were going to bring that up. Yes. And
So you got a call later.
I got
email.
a message through Facebook that was the guy's son-in-law, I think, that was out with the snake.
Yeah.
I wonder if the snake could come out when it's this
It's cold.
cold.
I don't know if
Wouldn't think it would be good
I don't think it's a
for the
snake.
snake.
I don't think this weather is not only natural climate for a snake. I'm convinced it's not natural climate for chubby old cops.
I could tell you that's true. So, but it's too late for us now. So we want to give a birthday shout out to Jim Pence.
I'll be out on traffic.
Jim, we heard it was your 69th birthday today. So you're just a young kid. Wow. Little older than me. Little older than Steve. But happy birthday. Isaac wanted to give you a shout out. And I also wanted to give a shout out to my son Nick, because he celebrated his 21st birthday this week. And he went with my wife Ann and some friends to Nashville. And it sounds like they had a heck of a time. We're going to cross over here to the east side of St. Paul. I am scanning all of the St. Paul channels, the Ramsey County channels, some metro-wide and statewide channels, and yes, this is how quiet it is. So hopefully we will get some action, or we could do some stops.
Courtney, her young brother.
Is it Junior or JR?
I think this is Junior. His 13th birthday today. Happy birthday. The new big teenager, a new teenager is out walking the
Oh,
earth.
gee. Oh, it's making us feel older.
146.
A lot of birthdays this time of year.
Take a birth allocation for a vehicle fire.
So did you watch any of the football games this weekend?
Oh, did I watch the football games? Oh, my God. You know,
Michigan, Ohio State.
in Michigan, a slight little disagreement at the end of the game.
Jeez.
You know, here's the crazy part. The Ohio coach had a team in the past who did exactly what Michigan did one day. Tried to plant their flag in the middle of the field of a team that they had just beaten. And there was a big fight for that.
Yeah.
And so it's, you know, he obviously learned his lesson not to, you know, about planting flags, but there was such bad sportsmanship on both parts.
It's
And,
just,
you know, you lost. And if two wrongs don't make a right, so flaunting it with the flag, okay, that's a little overboard with emotions, but it doesn't justify a physical attack on another person.
No.
You know, you've got to be mature enough that you can be swore at, called names. I mean, it's ridiculous when I hear, oh, he disrespected me, so I shot him.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
But that's, unfortunately, some of the culture we see bleed over into these college sports. And it was multiple games that had issues like that this weekend. And it's, hopefully they get a handle on it and before it gets too out of control.
And
I mean, I
holy-
saw they were both fined $100,000.
schools were.
Both schools, yeah. And I know that's nothing for you, but for me, that would hurt.
Pocket change.
Pocket change for you.
You know, when you have 5 children and more than that many grandchildren, you don't have any money.
Right, yeah.
You know, Grandpa, when I was dad of 5 kids, it was just paycheck to paycheck to keep things going. And now that I got the grandchildren, you make more money the older you are, right? So you have more when you need it less.
Correct.
I could have really used this income when I had those 5 little kiddies. Because I had 5 children, all under the age of 7. And now that I got the grandchildren, well, it's my responsibility to spoil them at every chance I get, and boy, do I do it.
I'll bet, yeah. Spoil them and then send them back to mom and dad.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know if many of you remember this, but a few weeks ago, when Mike and I were on Live on Patrol, I made reference several times to my much, much, much older sister. And after several conversations of talking about how I interact with my much, much, much older sister, Mike spoke up and mentioned that, you know, your sister Mary Holman probably isn't that much older than you, I'm guessing. And she's not. We're kind of like Irish twins. And she listens to Live on Patrol, and I get a phone call from her saying, oh, this is your much, much, much older sister. And since Mike defended me and spoke up, he can have his choice of snowballs, fudge, cake. He names it, I'll make it for him to reward him. And I will tell you this, there is nobody on earth that I know that can bake the way my sister Mary bakes. She is very gifted and has made cakes for different events and brought it into the sheriff's office for people. Her homemade from scratch chocolate cake is my mom's recipe. And
Well, the fudge.
yes.
Finally, I mean, that was a lot of fudge. It was like a year's supply of fudge. And the last of it got eaten up at Thanksgiving. We actually had to Google to make sure it was still going to be okay. And apparently fudge is good for 3 to 4 weeks if you keep it refrigerated. And if it doesn't look moldy or smell moldy. So, and I'm not really sure the kids, if they even bothered to look or smell it, but they certainly ate it. And which reminds me, I got to get her Tupperware back to her. So,
well, I'm glad you said that, Mike, because I have been accused by my children and my sister that you never got the fudge, that I ate it.
No, I got it. But what?
There might have been a piece or two missing, but you did get it.
We're gonna head back over to Central. There's a fight at 444 Maryland. And we'll head that way until it's cleaned up. We're a ways off, but it's more exciting than listening to us tell stories. But no, definitely, I've been in possession of the fudge since the day it came.
We have one shot fired there.
Oh, there's a shot now, huh?
Yeah, there's shot fired now. All parties are fleeing on foot.
Well, I think I would flee on foot too if there were shots fired. So we'll step it up here to code 3. Until we hear code 4 over there. We're actually coming from Payne, but up here soon will be Maryland, and then we'll go west. I'm gonna switch over to channel 2.
I'm on channel 2 now.
Okay, good. So it's a good idea to have some redundancy when it's two old guys in the car.
Taxi 1452.
You're right.
Cool. Good job, Pat.
139 checking in status.
I've learned from the best.
You can't be count clear, right, though.
139. No change. Still trying to ID my driver.
That's taken. So we're going to 444 Maryland.
It's a convenience
444
store.
West Maryland. It is a convenience store. I would, for lack of a more appropriate term, call it a problematic.
It has had its more than its share of calls. Oh, he's going to stop right there on you. Gave you room for you get by the medium. That was nice
That was
of him.
nice of him. We'll see if anybody here is nice enough to get out of my way. There goes another St. Paul squad way up ahead of us.
Yep.
You may be able to see, so this is going to be a traffic jam, so we're going to do something a little
139. If anyone's available with an IBIS, you can bring it by. I can log in. Just need it.
There's squad with an IBIS. I'll check with Central. Is there a Central squad that has an IBIS I can assist him with? Negative response at 1459. IBIS. $59.98. $59.98. I'm EOT. You can leave 5004 out on the board. Copy. 1500.
One on one.
Good.
I can bring an IBIS to somebody if they still need it.
139, did you copy?
139, is that somebody saying they have an IBIS?
331 does. You still need it?
Yeah, if 331 can swing by.
331, I copy. Can you clear me a report from the call that I'm on and put me on the other one?
Okay.
So we've been out here with St. Paul PD. Somebody let me know if we're back live streaming. We're looking for shell casings where they said that the fight was and one shot was fired. And we haven't found anything yet, so...
Just a flag.
265.
I'm currently reviewing the camera footage. Can you let Minnesota Zulu Hotel Lima 358 to the call?
It started back. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, good. Cool. Thank you, smart man. I appreciate it. Bye. So we're looking for shell casing. There was one shot fired. Obviously, if it was a revolver, we wouldn't necessarily see that. Or, I'm sorry, find a shell casing. But we're looking around. St. Paul Squad is inside checking the cameras inside in the store. And we will be back out in a second. Or in a minute.
$5283 Tango Transport.
5283 Tango.
One adult male to the LAC, starting mileage 89.
Copy. 1503. I copy. You took the 3565 Pine Tree Drive, unit 327 at 1503.
$5284.
5284.
Myself and A2 are clear. 3 still out?
Copy 1503.
Two six five.
265.
The suspect is going to be a black male, about 25 years old, and he's wearing a black jacket, black jeans, and a red hat, winter hat.
265 copy. Suspect from the shots fired is going to be a black male, 25 years old, wearing all black with a red winter hat at 1506.
$50-$84. I'll take the medical advice.
Copy at 1506. $5382, I copy, took the for 3026 Lexington Avenue North, Unit A6 for a detached garage that occurred within the last week at 1507.
$56.72 arrived, ending mileage 76.
265.
Go ahead.
Video shows the suspect pointing the gun at the victim, but it's unclear if he shot him or not, or if he even shot around.
Copy at 1508.
$22.65. Change this to a DOC and clear advice.
Copy at 1508.
5281 Tango, clear report. Squad 5672 is still out.
Copy, 59.
5024, right?
Alrighty.
Copy, 59.
Backseaters. We are back. We did not find any shell casings. There was a
206.
a fight
206.
right out here, right outside the door.
Just a little bit more info. That suspect here from 444 Maryland's got a red hat with looks like white stars, larger stars on the hat itself. Gray hooded sweatshirt underneath a black puffy jacket.
Big truck.
Appears he left westbound on Maryland.
It's just a
Go to
propane
hear that
truck.
west
Yeah.
as well, please.
We don't, nothing bad would happen.
206, copy. An informational west squads on a shot fired from 444
Yeah,
Maryland.
let's go.
Suspect left,
Yeah.
going westbound on Maryland and Minnesota license, Blue Hotel Lincoln,
Come on, buddy.
358 gray Chevy
People
and
just don't
Paula.
get it,
Pointed
do
the
they?
gun at the victim, unknown if he shot it or not. He's going to be a
How
black
about
male, 25 years old.
Well, I'm
Right
glad
on
we,
Lincoln.
see, you always come until you hear code 4, even if you're that far away. There was only one officer that was able to get here at the
Yeah.
time. And you don't want to leave a guy alone in case a suspect decides to come back to try to collect evidence he forgot. Somebody's hiding, thinking, hey, there's only one cop here, I guess I can get him, I can get out, if that's a safety concern. So you just want to get there.
Right. Well, and then the next squad that showed up was a training.
Yeah.
So he was training a new officer, which is great. So the sergeant who showed up, great guy. I'm not going to use his name only because I don't want to front him without telling him.
Yeah.
But we watched the video inside. They have very good video of the incident, and he knew the suspect by name. So
There you go.
that was the main instigator. So that's good. So they can put that info out. They'll put the info and probably some still photos from the incident out to the street coppers and see if they can't find the young man who kind of instigated the fight. So, but yeah, like Steve was saying, this is why we go till we hear that it's code 4, because you never know where other squads are, and you don't want someone out by themselves on a call like that.
Yeah, you know, and you think back to a horrible moment when I'm on 94 and 120 at night, and Sergeant Kill gets into a slow pursuit with a vehicle that's from St. Paul, and so I'm heading that, it's a slow pursuit. They get away, they're not stopping, they're clearly, and I'm all of a sudden shot.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, thank God I've been heading that way. I'm just safety in numbers. You want to get there. The officer is good for the citizen that could be a victim, and it increases the chance that people that are breaking the law, hurting people, can be apprehended and held accountable for their behavior.
Right. Portable radio's up pretty high.
Not according to my ears.
So we're going to stay over in this general area just because now you got 3 cars tied up over there. And so if something else happens in this district, they may be short. So also, I don't know what time their shift change is, but it's got to be close.
Give a quick shout out to Jerry Bloomberg. Used to be Sherry Jerry Bloomberg, used to be Jerry Baker. She grew up in North St. Paul, was a good friend of the Leiden family. She watches from Arizona now. We have a lot of people that watch. We had one guy mention he's a new backseater and he's from the UK.
Awesome. Here's what we should do.
That'd be the United Kingdom, Mike.
Oh, okay. I thought it was somewhere in University of Kentucky or something.
That was low.
You know what we should do is we'll go to Arizona and patrol, and they can come up here and watch.
I like that idea much better.
It's a little chilly out. It's 23, so I think we're probably at the accurate temperature now.
I will say the wind was not bad. Combing the parking lot looking for that casing was not bad.
Nah, it was fine. Plus, it makes you feel like you're actually doing something.
But you're trying always trying.
Minneapolis had a homicide over the weekend
5281 Tango.
where
27th
I'm not sure they know
for a medical 6-year-old female that slipped and fell on
what happened, but a female was shot and dumped
5281
on the
Tango.
south side, and
Is this how the family found her?
yeah, and then the family found her through tracking her phone.
Yeah.
And
how terrible.
Oh, it'd be just horrible. Yeah. I don't know. My understanding is, she was frozen, which of course is. I mean, it's been cold out, so especially overnight. So I went to a homeless person who had died and froze to the sidewalk once, and we had to have the fire department come to help, basically heat up the body so that they could remove it.
It always impresses me with what respect the fire department, the medical examiner, and police officers always show the deceased.
Yes, yeah.
They act as if it was their brother, sister, mother, father, because they know it is somebody's brother, sister, mother, father, and the care and the respect they give to the deceased is quite commendable.
Yeah, I mean, that's your showing some dignity to, that deceased person is we all deserve.
Yeah.
And, I've
Tango arrived at DLET.
many times I've told people that in 1995, which was the record murder year in Minneapolis, where we were called Murderapolis, there were officially 97 homicides that year. I would argue there were 98 because there was a lady who wasn't found till New Year's Day. But
killed prior.
Yeah, but I believe she was killed prior. But anyway, and I was on the scene of 63 of those homicides that year.
So you're telling me in 63 homicides, the common denominator was you?
Ooh, don't tell the profilers. So
that's a tough year, Mike. That was a tough year.
The point I was trying to make, Steve, was that most of those were gang related.
Yeah.
They were gang members and drug dealers killing each other, right? I mean, and yet we still, every one of those was a tragedy for that person's family. I mean, there's someone's son or daughter.
I'm Shoreline Injured, Speed of 40. We are now past without that one.
As we know from being in this business this long, nobody is all bad.
Right.
It's just as nobody's all good.
And hold on just a sec. We got a chase. There's
eastbound losing tire. We are checking the flight.
There's a chase going on.
We are continuing eastbound on 40th through Abbott. We are approaching the Parkway.
So
30.
South Minneapolis, Abbott.
Jacket. No longer
sounds like. Unless there's an Abbott in Robbinsdale too. So
249 to 265. Go to 4.
But we'll let you listen to that chase. It's on a statewide channel.
26, come up behind you.
Copy. We are eastbound 40th through Thomas.
So they're in Robbinsdale.
So 50 through Russell.
Sorry, you're talking.
Like over there. Southbound on 10. He has no tires.
That won't last long.
Sorry, drivers and tires. Flight is not available.
Back off a little bit.
So
Copy, I'm backing off a bit. We are approaching Dowling, so going southbound.
So now they're
Wrong way, I'm terminating.
going into the north side of Minneapolis
Business district. Is that what?
on Dowling.
Driving the wrong way.
Yeah, there's
36
businesses
by
there.
I have to cut off my lights and siren. I still have eyes on those from my distance. He is slowing down quite a bit. I think he's going to try to ditch it here in a minute. We are eastbound 37 from 10.
Now you had the
Bail. Doors are opening.
You were the inspector in North
Having
Side,
out
right?
billing, doors opening.
Yes. Yep. So they're bailing on the north side. They're up. If you know the area, they're just
Want to go up the next intersection, take a right?
west of North
You're gonna jump in
Memorial
somewhere on this
Hospital.
pathway here.
So quite often,
Traffic going north, going to Bill at the stoplight.
they'll call out the location that they see them at to try to set a perimeter up.
3931.
Please let me out. It's hard to the shop.
And
I'm sorry, what's the location?
then do the search for them.
Target, please.
I'm gonna switch over to LTAC
Copy.
1 just so we don't get the interference from the other channels. So yeah, so they'll set up a perimeter.
Where'd they go?
No location at the time.
They will try to
Okay, have you bailed in the alley of 3700 in Dowling? Do we know how many occupants are in the vehicle?
There's 3 at this time. We have 1 in the vehicle still.
Copy 3 occupants, 1 in the vehicle still.
I believe it's going to be 3710 Dowling, perhaps.
So they'll set up a perimeter, try to contain the suspects in that perimeter, and then they can search on foot for them or
Copy,
send it,
3700 block of Dowling.
use a canine to track them, which is likely what they will do.
And a lot of times when we hear,
There's going to be a black male, late 20s.
1261, I'm in the area. Can you help with perimeter? Where do you need me?
if we hear of a chase,
33, we got footprints going to the east. So let's get a perimeter set up to the east from us. We're in the alleyway just south of 37th in between Dowling.
So I don't know if you could tell, but we have fresh snow on the ground, so
For a track of the vehicle.
that always helps. Tracking footprints.
Minneapolis was the same.
Minneapolis was advised we're en route with the canine.
there you go.
Copy. We are going to be between Newton and Oliver, 3700 block. Between your two squads, set up perimeter to the east, and Minneapolis can assist with the side in that area. Pretty up. I only have anyone to assist.
We'll check. Yeah, those 45 plane calls will be in the area shortly. 33. Soon about the LTAC 1 to the main. Copy. We'll be clearing the path with LTAC 1, moving up to LTAC 1. H12 1 is now clear. 1303.
There's squad coming up behind us, and we'll let them pass. Not sure where they're going, but wherever they're going, they're in a hurry. So
36 Moral Tech 1, I'm going to be launching a drone here in a minute.
So they're launching a drone. They got a perimeter set up. They got a K9. Steve, what is the drone do in a case like that?
What you do is you'll go up and you'll start at the location where they were last seen, and you'll fly a grid pattern in the direction they headed in. On a day like today, you would go to infrared.
Did you get a good look at the other occupants? I had the occupants.
You'll go to infrared because the body heat will light up big time with this cold weather. And
Robot to a path. I did not follow.
so you'll look for a heat signature of a human, either running or hiding, and then you direct foot officers to that location.
I was 3 occupants. They're all wearing darker clothing.
If it's a K9 out,
The only one I saw looked like a male driver.
I'll fly over the K9 officers, looking
K9 is arriving. Where can I meet you?
2-3 yards in front of them and on both sides.
Alleyway of 3707 Newton.
That way, if the suspect hears the dog coming, tries to run, or if somebody's trying to ambush the K9 officer, I'll see them and can warn them ahead of time, or tell them there's a deer up in front or there's a dog in the yard next to you. Just one more tool to try to get things done. But the best police work, as you know, is boots on the ground.
Absolutely. If there's a deer and it's deer hunting season, can you use a drone?
No.
The answer is no. So, but I just thought I would try to be funny.
Well,
But it wasn't that funny. But what if it was a big deer?
Well, you know, sometimes for the safety of the deer.
Yesterday, my dogs were going crazy, and I couldn't figure out why. It was the middle of the day, and I went to the sliding glass door, and there were 3 deer standing right in my backyard.
Were they down by the lake? Or?
Like halfway down the backyard, so... So we're on University Avenue going westbound.
Try going over to 36 in Morgan area. We most likely wind to the east.
We're going to let you keep listening to the search for the suspects here.
8394, I'll be out. I'm leaving.
Copy, 1525.
So I'll tell you, Minneapolis and St. Paul have this whole perimeter, setting up a perimeter and searching down to a science.
Yeah.
And now that you have the drones, that's a game changer.
You want K9 warnings given?
Yeah. Somebody's asking how many drones.
Yes, please.
Lee's asking, does each county have? There's no set number. Drones are becoming much more daily use routine. Anytime there's a new...
Were you able to get a good description of the driver at least?
Looks like a shorter white male with brown hair.
Anytime new technology comes out,
So just saw you be able to ID him?
there's always a great bit of caution on how you use it, deploy it,
Yeah, I can do that.
use laws to regulate it. All that was done through the legislature, and you had a lot of people asking questions and want to know about privacy and stuff. And then, of course, most of them realized there's already police helicopters out there. The drone can't do anything to that level.
No.
So they've just been extremely helpful in finding lost children, people with dementia or Alzheimer's that are lost.
Yes.
4153 Crestwood, miles 1.
that 86-year-old lady that was missing
Yes.
the other day that had dementia. It was believed she had left her assisted living home just wearing a robe or a nightgown or something, and it was pretty cold out, and we used drones in that situation looking for her. Turned out she was in the building.
We have an alarm going
in
off
another
in
room,
the rear of.
but had she been out, we have many times used the drones to find people that were lost or missing, little kids too.
3931 to confirm you said 2153 Crestwood.
We had the case where Nunn, who was convicted of kidnapping, carjacking,
There's a valid address or a CAD system.
his case in Arden Hills, which led to another case when we were out one night of a carjacking. And when the suspects were fleeing, they threw a dog out the window on the freeway.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
To try to distract the cops. And we went back looking for that dog. And the next day, the drone guys, Commander Eastham and I think Sergeant Young from patrol went out. And they saw a heat signal, and then they went and checked it out, and they found tracks that led them to the dog under a tree. So the dog didn't freeze to death. And
No.
it's just, the drones are very, very helpful. We've used them. They can't see in depth in water, but in emergency situations, you're looking for somebody that may have drowned. You can cover a lot of ground with a drone from the air and clear a beach area or clear a lake, shore area a lot quicker with the drone than you can on foot.
Right.
And in some cases, when we're working in conjunction with the helicopter, a drone can fly down under a bridge, can fly down under trees and so forth that the helicopter can't. So it's just, again, another tool that helps try to keep people safe and make sure guilty people are found and apprehended. The quickest way to reduce crime is to arrest people committing the crimes.
Really?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'm acting surprised.
Yeah, I wasn't telling you that. I know you knew that.
You know, quick.
But it's
quick. No, I know.
What a small percentage of guys commit the majority of the crimes.
It's unbelievable. Yeah.
You hear that, but then when you get in the field and you see it every day, the same people arrested, the same people.
You can stand inside. When you can stand inside a convenience store and look at surveillance video,
Yeah.
and a cop says, "Oh, that's so and so,"
Yeah.
it tells you something about it.
Yeah. No, it's sad. We just had an incident over the weekend. A couple of juveniles that we ran into several years ago that we started tracking were constantly stealing cars, getting arrested, released, getting arrested, released. They'd be on probation with an ankle bracelet.
Occurred at White Bear in 96.
And they still steal cars.
Sorry, 96.
Wearing a GPS ankle bracelet.
4540 Cinema Road.
And we would arrest them and they'd let go. Arrest them and they'd get out. They'd send them away.
Yeah, wait.
Trying to get them in a treatment center.
10 to 20 minute time delay left.
Some might argue they sent them too late. Some will argue they just, it didn't work. But just this weekend, got involved where they pulled guns on people, held them down, pistol whipped them. They're adults now. And it's you know, same kids arrested 30 plus times in a 2 or 3 year period, and now they're adults and committing violent, serious crimes.
Well, and here's the deal is, had they been held accountable for their earlier crimes, they wouldn't be in this position.
Yeah.
But now, they're going to be held accountable as adults, which means they're going to end up going to prison, most likely, for what they did.
These kids...
And you know, we act like we did them a favor, not us, but the judicial system, by letting them go the first time.
There's great research by the Juvenile Delinquency and Prevention of the Department of Justice that did a big study after the juvenile crime spike in the late 80s, early 90s, and they found that juveniles that have 5 interactions with police, maybe not arrest, but the police get called, the police deal with them, because the tendency is don't arrest a juvenile unless you absolutely have to. But if you have 5 interactions as a juvenile with police, you need treatment. You need to be confined in a secure treatment facility for mental health, cognitive thinking, drug abuse, chemical dependency, mental health issues, and to make sure you are functioning at the grade level you belong at. And when you don't do that for these kids, you're really not helping them at all. And that's, we closed Totem Hennepin County closed their juvenile program. But thankfully, Ramsey County figured out that was a mistake, and they're working to with the legislature, and they're starting to plan to build smaller facilities that are specially designed to deal with certain needs of mental health or whatever it might be.
Intensive treatment homes.
Yeah, these are great ideas.
And right now, as we speak, or just before, the sheriff is at a press conference where they're talking about these Minnesota intensive treatment homes where take a handful of kids that are the most at risk and give them the treatment that they need and hopefully get them back.
We're talking about the one that occurred an hour ago.
The right path. So,
and I give credit to John Choi and Sheriff Bob Fletcher for taking the lead, saying, you know what, we need these facilities. Let's read. We're open. Let's get this going. And you know, there's 2 schools of thought. One big facility, put everybody in it, or specialized smaller facilities. I like that concept. That's what the county is looking at now, and I just give a lot of credit to be able to recognize that and then do the work to follow through. There's a lot of people in the criminal justice system that knew it wasn't working but didn't do anything about it, and I really appreciate the effort of the sheriff and John Choi working with getting the county to understand it and join in.
6-5 copy.
And
the new county managing Becker Deputy Gloria Reyes, they get it, and they're helping us move forward on that. So
yeah, and I don't think the people in the past that held positions actually trying to hurt these kids. They had an idea, they tried it, it didn't work. Sadly, there was no help for, but now we will. And learn from history so you don't repeat it, right?
Good point. I'm gonna write that one down. Learn from yourself. I don't want horse too much, but imagine if you went to your doctor and you had a tumor, a cancerous tumor.
Yeah.
And they said, well, you know what? Sometimes those will go away, so we're just gonna not do anything about it, or hey, we're gonna remove it, but we're not gonna do the radiation that's needed to keep it from growing back, or whatever. I mean, we can't tie our own hands on options and expect to be successful, because every kid's different.
Exactly. And for your head saying you're doing the same thing. It's not so. I think it was Einstein said if you continue to do the same thing expecting different results, it's the definition of insanity. And we have sane people in office. We have sane people as county managers. We have sane sheriffs and county attorneys, and they really put their head together. And
to fight boredom, I'm going to pull this guy over for not stopping at that stop sign.
Yeah, that's a busy street. People get hurt.
Although I will say, apparently those Subarus, can pretty much get totaled and be just fine. I saw a commercial.
And I just walked back to the 31 table. Happy 1539.
We're gonna call the. Sure.
$300, you're muffled. Can you go again?
All right, so I'm just going to run his license here quick. He was very cool and apologetic. He said he was going a little too fast, and he tried to stop, but it slid through, and then he just continued. So we're just going to make sure he's not wanted for some major crime or something, and
Yeah, it's
then
slippery
send
out
him
there.
on his way.
Barely on. I'll take one.
New message. New
Do you want to keep
message.
the channel, or are you ready to clear it?
No, you go ahead and clear it, thank you.
Copy, thank you. I'll take one that's not clear, 1340.
He's valid. The car registers to him. Everything's cool.
Just hit a patch of ice. It happens, right?
I'll be canceled.
We've all been there, right?
Yeah.
Just tell him to be a little more careful.
Yeah, 720. Can you mark drone watch?
Copy.
What, 7-4?
7-4.
So it's funny,
This with the central.
you never know what you're getting on a routine stop like that.
Yep.
Copy.
And I've had DOC fugitives, people wanted for murder, guy wanted. I was live on patrol one night when I stopped a car just because it had a taillight out, and the guy turned out he had a PC pickup out of St. Paul for a shooting.
Proactive police work
And
is really results in a lot of guns getting off the street and people wanted getting off the street. And it's a basic staple of good police practice and theory. And it's important that officers understand that and they continue that type of safe approach, because you don't know who you're walking up to with that car.
well, and you can't. It's how you detect crime and apprehend criminals. And I had that guy, so I stop him one Friday night, tail light out. Turns out he's wanted by St. Paul PD for a shooting. I don't know what happened with that case, but then about a month later, maybe 6 weeks later, I had Sergeant Jim Chin riding with me, and there's a call up on Wasabi and Maplewood of someone in a car waving a gun around, and we beat the Maplewood cars there, although kind of at the same time.
Yeah.
And it was the same guy, and he had a gun, and a couple ounces of fentanyl, powdered fentanyl.
I remember that
and
arrest.
thousands of pills, and that guy just was sentenced not too long ago to I forget how many years in federal prison because he had a criminal history too. So Trey Krill Smith was his name. So
Well, the days are getting shorter, aren't they?
they sure are.
You know, when I lived out in Laughlin for a couple years, sunny every day. I do miss the sun in the wintertime. It's so cloudy, overcast. So all you people down in Florida and down in Nevada, enjoying your snowbird lifestyle, Gary Holden, Phil Morat, guys like that, enjoy the sun. And we don't have it right now. We have cloudy, overcast.
Yes. Guys doing a good job of shoveling the sidewalk.
They fixed that building up nice, kitty corner from us over on Arcade and Rice at Jackson Hewitt. They did a nice job on that.
Yeah.
It's refreshing to see a building get brought up to date and refurbished rather than just tore down and build a new one.
Right, yeah. And this Excel Energy building has been operational for a long time.
Yeah.
Advise, report up on 3rd Street.
800 Rice Street, new apartment building up there the last couple of years. We've been there a few times.
A few dozen times.
But the management did a good job. When they find criminal behavior, they move them out and tell them, just, if you're going to act like that here, you can't live here.
Right.
So they do a good job.
Yeah. Again, hold people accountable for their behavior.
Yeah. And it works well together. I got to tell you that, people got to remember, fighting crime is not the police job. Fighting crime is the community's job, and the police are part of that community effort. But you need people to see something, report something, license plate numbers. Cops can't do it alone. You can't do it alone, but together we can do it and get the job done.
No, we rely on each other. That's for sure.
And overall, you have to remember,
3950.
and I tell people this all the time, just being born in America, you hit the lottery ticket.
Yeah.
This is the greatest country in the world. Is it the perfect country? No. But it's better than any other. We try to make it better. We're improving. We're advancing. You have more opportunities, no matter who you are, what your background is. You have more opportunities in this country than anywhere else. That's why people try so hard to break into this country, because of the opportunity. If you're willing to work hard, study, and apply yourself, you can pretty much do anything you want with very little limitation. I'm not going to be a nuclear scientist. I'm really smart, but I'm not genius smart. If you don't believe me I'm smart, Mike, just ask me. I'll tell you.
I was going to say, yeah. I think you're smart. We got the smartest man. You could be number 2. Maybe we should have a smart down, like a contest.
A Jeopardy game?
See, yeah. But with different categories, Oh, although there might be a few other people that would challenge us.
I've got a nephew,
some pretty
Devin.
smart people here.
I got a nephew, Devin, who has children that I tell you, they are, Devin's smart. Devin's kids are really smart. And it reminds me of a TV show where this family had 2 or 3 kids, and they were all geniuses. Mom and dad were just, regular mom and dad like us, right? But these kids were super geniuses. And their 12-year-old is going to a school dance.
Down there, or are you good with 2?
And so the dad says to him,
I think we're good right now.
So dad says to him, we better sit down and have a little talk about the facts of life, about, how you behave and and about reproduction. And the 12-year-old goes, "Oh, sure, sit down, grab a chair. What is it you want me to tell you?"
Yep. There you go.
I don't remember what was there. Was that a bank?
There was a church and there was a big church there, and on the corner was just a parking lot.
Okay. This was the new office building, a $2 billion office building, which I guess they thought they needed it, although I hear there's a lot of empty buildings in the city of St. Paul.
Yeah, it's, don't get me started. All right.
Oh.
We need our own Minnesota version of Doge.
There you go.
Department of Government.
County
What is it?
resident of Freshville, that was St. Paul East. It's going to be a silver Kia Sorento, Golf X-Ray Sierra 116, stolen with keys while warming up. It's only 50%.
How about a location where it was stolen? 1641 Hazelwood, it looks like. Yep, Kia
Black
Sorento.
Is that the black Jeep Cherokee?
No,
no place?
no, it's this one.
You can describe it as silver Kia.
Sorento.
Got a possible plate, but not a confirmed plate.
I think this must be the confirmed plate that's in the call.
Got it.
That's the problem, is we have way too many sources of info. If you could get some of that AI stuff working.
They just confirmed the correct plate. Yeah, the regular artificial. You need intelligence artificial and stuff.
They're still trying to figure out who the suspect was from the light rail murder. Shooting on the Green Line.
2 murders within what? 8 days of each other?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's that's another area, and I know the citizens have made it very clear they're outraged at the level of crime and behavior on the light rail and the buses, and they're demanding that the administrations of the
Met Council.
Met Council step up and do it. Now they're talking, well, maybe we need to reduce the fees and we'll get better ridership. And the citizens are saying, no, put police on there. Make sure people are paying. Don't allow the type of activity of drug sales or fights and
enforce the public order.
Yeah.
Crimes, the disorderly conduct and smoking and the drug dealing and everything on the light rail. And you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
A big part of it is you have to have the will. You know what? I want to weigh 180 pounds, but you know what?
Yeah.
That requires some tough decisions, right?
Exactly.
And they want safe transportation. Well, that requires tough decisions if you're not willing to do it. I mean, you look at what happened back in the 90s in New York in the subway system, when you had Giuliani and Bratton and those guys, they cleaned it up because they were willing to make those sacrifices and those tough decisions but it takes some political will. If you're sitting in an office somewhere,
the black Jeep.
Oh, right now.
Yeah. Are they pinging?
I don't know if they're pinging it but I'm gonna flip around here. We'll head over that way. If you're not willing, if you're sitting in an office somewhere and you're not willing to say, hey, we want our officers to enforce these and we don't care, we're not going to tolerate it, Do you have a key fob for the fuel pumps down here?
In my car.
Okay, because I need gas.
Yep.
I didn't realize I was that low. So, that's unlike me, by the way. I had forgotten I was going to go there this morning up Arden Hills, but was running late. But yeah, you can't sit in an office and hope that magically crime's going to go away on light rail. It's not how it works.
No, and sometimes I have to remind myself, and I do remind other people in law enforcement who does this. Police, mayors, governors, they don't set the bar of tolerance of crime. It's the citizens who we work for.
Yeah.
And they set the bar. And that's why they've held meetings saying, your bar is not low enough. You're allowing too much illegal activity. You're not supervising enough. You don't have enough observation and enforcement there, and we demand you step it up. And but counsel, you're not, ridiculously low intelligence to be on that. So you're smart enough to know we're going to have to step it up. We're going to make sure people know that you're going to behave on the light rail, and you're going to pay to be on the light rail, and you're going to pay to be on the bus, and we're going to make it safe, and then your ridership will come back.
Yeah. Well, part of the problem is that there's too much of a separation between the community that has to use public transportation and the Met Council.
Yeah.
Who are all appointed.
Yeah. And I don't even know if any of them live in those neighborhoods, but I tell you, it was heart-wrenching to hear some of the stories of the citizens that came out.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna shut it down for tonight. Appreciate you being with us. We got to get some gas, otherwise you're gonna be watching us push my Tahoe here.
Us?
Well, you could steer and I'll push. So, and then we'll just have to take a break every 10 feet. So, thank you so much for sticking with us, and we will see you again.
Have a great